Hello, this is Dr. Nima. So the file I attached have all the question banks and practice quizzes for the dental assisting chapter. So all the 64 chapters. To import these question banks, you go to your settings here on the side, and then you go to import course content, and then choose the content, and the content will be Canvas course export package. The source, you choose the file. This is the file that I uploaded, and then open. Now, if you choose all content, you have all 64 practice quizzes and all 64 question banks, which most probably you don't need. So it's better to select specific content. And then you select import. So it will load until it actually complete the import, and then you can select content. So it took about a minute or two, and now you see that you can select content. Click select content, you can see that you have course setting, modules, and question banks, which are 128. If you click the arrow to the side, now you can see all the chapters. Some of them are practice quizzes, and some of them are test banks. So depending on what chapters or what modules you're teaching, you can just choose the one that you want, and you select content. And then after you select content, it will be updated to your system, to the course, and we'll see where we will find them. So once you select the content that you wanted, and since all of these are question banks or test banks, you will not see them anywhere here. You'll not see them in your modules, you'll not see them in your quizzes, and you'll not see them in your assignments. Everything is empty here because these are question banks. These are not quizzes, so you have to make quizzes of them. And most probably you will not use all the questions in the question banks. So now, after you imported these question banks, you'll go to your quizzes and you'll make a new quiz here. If you want to see the ones that you imported, you can click on the small one and manage question banks. But let's create a quiz. So after you click create a quiz, you go to the questions. For sure, you can name the quiz. You can put details about it. You can choose all the options, but go back to questions. Again, we don't have any questions here. What you need to click is find questions. Once you click on find questions, since I have added all of the question banks here for my course, the sample course, you'll find whatever you have added or selected. See, these are the practice quizzes. And then if I go scroll down, these are the test banks. And you can see like chapter 1 has 36 questions and so on. And the practice quizzes, each one of them have 10 or 20 or something. So let's just make an example. If we're making a practice quiz, you select it, you'll see all the questions here. And then you scroll down a little bit here. So since it's a practice quiz, most probably you want to select all. And then you just add the questions. You can make them in a group if you want to add like chapter 1 and chapter 2. So you make a group in one quiz, and the same quiz like 2 chapters. But let's just make it as a group here, a new group. You can name the group, let's say 1. Pick of the 15 questions, how many questions you want to pick. That will be picked randomly for each student. So each student will get a separate set of questions. Let's say 15 again, because this is a practice quiz, so we want them to practice. And we want to give them 1 point per question. We can create the group, and now we add the questions. You'll see now this is the group 1. It will pick 15 questions, and we'll put 1 point per question. And you can edit the group, you can add questions, and you can change it. So let's collapse the group. Now, if I want to add more, let me just show you if I add them as questions. So now I add these, just 3 of them, and I can just add selected. I didn't choose a group. I can add them to a group, or I can just add selected. Now, when you add them like that, you cannot select how many points unless you do one by one. So that's the good thing about having a group when you add questions, because you will be able to put specific points for the questions that you want. Another difference is when you do a practice quiz, you want to choose it as a practice quiz here if you don't want it to be graded. So on the same quiz that we're at, These are the questions, and these are the details, and this is a practice quiz. When you select it as practice quiz, it will not be graded, so you will not see it in your grade book, and the students will not see it in your grade book. It will be just a practice. And for sure, you can add all the other things to it. You can save and publish, and that's your quiz. So what I did, I went to quizzes, create a new quiz, added questions, find the questions, and then now let's say this time we want to do a test on the same chapter 1. See, it has 36 questions. I'll select them all, and then I'll add them to a new group and say this is group 2. And this time I'll not pick 36 questions. I'll let it pick 20 questions of the 36 that I selected, and I'll give them 1 point per question. Now each group, each student will get 20 different questions from the other student. So they'll be completely different. They cannot cheat. It will be just different, but it's up to you if you want to do this. And you can create a group now and then add questions. And now again, this is your group. I will pick 20 questions, 1 point per question, and all of that here. If anything happened, you can always delete it. You can always delete the quiz and make it again. And now this quiz is graded quiz, so they will see it in their grade book. It will be there. You can shuffle the answers. You can do a time limit, multiple attempts, access code, which is a password for it, and all of these, the availability. And let's just make this as a quiz, or 1-1-1-2 quiz. And then if we save and publish, now here's our quiz. These are the information. Anytime you want to see the quiz, you can just click preview so you can see it. And if you go to your grades, you'll see that your grade book has only one quiz here because the other one is a practice quiz. Go to your assignment. Now you'll see your quizzes. Again, one quiz here because it's practice. The other one is practice. If you go to your quizzes, you'll see that you have practice quiz and you have the other quiz. For sure, if you want to add these to your modules, you have to click the add button and then select quiz, and you can select which quiz that you want, and then you add the item, and there it is.